Thanks for joining A Safe Place with Ellen. Today, we're going to talk about how to support those people that we know that may be experiencing some domestic violence. When we have family members or friends that we feel like might be going through this trauma, we feel like, how do we help? What do we do? Well, one thing we do is we listen. And when I say listen, we actually listen and aren't thinking kind of about how can I help, what can I do. We actually sit and we listen. We believe when they talk about this, and we may know the abuser, we may think, oh gosh, how could that happen? I just don't see that. Remember, we're supporting a domestic violence victim and we want to help them become a survivor. So we listen with our ears open and heart, and we believe. We don't question, are you sure that's what he meant, or that's what she meant? We believe, and we take the abuse seriously. He's just yelled at you or screamed at you. We never say those things. Remember, we're supporting. We want to support our family member, our daughter, our mother, our sister, our best friend. We're supporting them. So we listen, we believe, and we don't push. We don't force them to talk. If they want to talk, they will, because what we want them to do is to trust us enough to let us help them. Because domestic violence can be embarrassing, and people have said to me, I don't know how why would you be embarrassed by something like that? Well, if you have never gone through it, you wouldn't know. But think about it. It would be embarrassing. We're living with someone that could be hitting us, that could be putting us down, that could be making us feel less than, that could be taking us from our families. And, if you haven't been through that, what would you say? Well, I would never let that happen. Trust me, you never know. And one thing I want you to remember, everybody has their reasons for staying. And, which is one thing that we have to, when we're supporting, that we don't want to say is, well, why would you stay with them? Why did you go back? Support. Remember, we want to support. We want to listen, believe, and give them the opportunity to tell us. But it is okay to go up and say, is everything okay? Is there anything I can do? Listen, believe. And that listening part, sometimes we think we might be listening, but we really may not be. And and when you do decide to approach and you're going to have this talk, make sure you have time, and that it's in a safe place, and that it is somewhere where you're not going to be interrupted, where people aren't walking around. Because again, it doesn't feel good being in that kind of relationship. And again, you're going to say, well, why would you stay? It's not what we're going to say to the people we're helping. But you might say that in your mind. Everybody has their own reasons, and that's not something you ever want to say to a domestic violence victim. Understand that, because we feel bad enough as it is without feeling, well, you don't know what I'm going through, and having to explain why I stay. When they're ready, they'll let you know why they stay. Building their confidence is the biggest thing. That's why we listen. And I keep saying that, I know I do, because it's so important. We listen and we believe. No matter how you may feel or I may feel when someone's talking to us, we believe what they're saying. Because, it could be your brother they're talking about. It could be your dad they're talking about. It could be your uncle, because it could be your sister. It could be your aunt, it could be your mom. So believe, listen, and believe. That's how we support. I might have got the horse before the cart, guys. Some signs of domestic violence. We want to help. We know something's off about our loved one or our friend, you're not seeing them as much, or you are there and you may be at a party, you may be at a barbecue, and you just notice something strange, that your friend, your mother or your sister is kind of staying away or is anxious. There may be something may get broken, and you see the fear in their eyes, or oh my gosh, that could be a sign of domestic violence. When one of the person that you love is on edge all the time and is making excuses for the abuser. Oh, he's just tired, or that's just how he is. He had a hard day at work, or something. The kids were rowdy, just making excuses for rude behavior, for maybe talking down to the person that you love. And you'll see that. You'll see that they may be telling a story, and he stops her and he starts telling the story. Won't let her talk, kind of putting her in the background. Sometimes even so-and-so they're kind of a little off. Honey, that you've had a off day today. You can't remember where anything is. Putting them down. That's a definite sign of that there could be some domestic violence going on. And when you add all of these up, of course, if there's bruising, you notice bruising in strange places. I mean, it's kind of hard to get a bruise under your arm or on the inside of your arm from falling. Especially if it looks like a handprint. Oh, I fell. I mean, and do not accuse. When you're saying, oh, how did you get that bruise? Well, I fell. You may be thinking, well, you probably didn't fall on the inside of your body, but we don't want to say that. Remember, we want to support, and if we're supporting the people that we love, we're accepting what they're saying, and we're just going to be there, because when they're ready, they'll tell you. Even if you suspect, it's okay to talk to them. These are the things I'm seeing. Remember, it's going to be a supportive environment, not accusing. Those are the kind of things that we want this person that's going through this trauma to trust us. So, I keep saying it, we have to be non-judgmental and just be there. Be there and let the people that we love, let them tell us. No judging. They may be afraid when they're around the abuser. They may be afraid to anger the person that's abusing them, and you'll see that. They'll constantly be on guard and make sure that everything is perfect for the person that's abusing them. And one thing we never know what's going on behind closed doors. We see what people want us to see. So the abuser may seem like the best husband, brother, uncle, boyfriend that you have ever seen, and we never know what's going on behind closed doors. And I say these things because we want to support the people that we love. I mean, there's no doubt. And even, we may say the wrong things. If we're saying these things out of love and we go back and we try to be supportive, that's the thing that we want. And that's what our victims want. They want support. They want people to believe them. Because trust me, he has said to her, or she has said to him, they're never going to believe you. They're my family. They're not going to believe you. These are my coworkers. These are my friends. They're not going to believe all these things you're saying. And it's every day. So already right off the bat, that's what they have in their mind. That's what a victim has in her mind, or he has in his mind. They're not going to believe me. Why? Because the abuser said they're not going to believe. They're not. It's been going on for so long, and you know what? I probably told a couple people, and they didn't believe me. So, those are just things to keep in mind, that when you feel like that there's someone you love is going through domestic violence and having this trauma, they're going to be on guard. Because if the abuser gets any kind of idea that she's talking to people, it could definitely get worse for him or her. That's just a few ways on how to support our loved ones when they're going through this domestic violence and they're having these issues. If at any time you know someone or your family member are going through these issues and you want help in helping them, please feel free to call away. Call the numbers at the bottom of our page, and I'll help. We can talk about it. We can talk about ways to help, and we can even meet with the person, your loved one, and try to help them. So know that there's people out there willing to help, family members and our victims, because what we want is surviving families and survivors, and that's our goal.